subscribe to our videos so that more people can hear the Word of God.
Good morning and welcome to Monday. Welcome to a new week. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and watch last week's videos because it was the story about the woman who was caught in adultery. So we just finished that narrative on Friday. And basically what happened is before basically the religious leaders accosted Jesus with this woman, Jesus was in the temple and he was teaching. So he's teaching in the temple, and then here comes the religious leaders dragging this woman and basically bringing him into a public place because they wanted the crowd, they wanted people, witnesses to see, because they were hoping to trick Jesus and get Jesus to say something that would either cause problems with the law or cause problems with the Romans. So that just finished. All those people who accused him are gone, and Jesus goes back right into teaching. So it's like commercial break over, Jesus goes back. Where was I? Right? And then he's teaching. So today we're actually just going to look at one verse. We're going to look at John chapter 8, verse 12. So join me as I go ahead and read along. When Jesus spoke again to the people, he said, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." So there are 7 I am statements that Jesus is saying about himself in the book of John. And so this is one of them. I am the light of the world. And so you have to remember that Jesus uses metaphors to explain things that the people were understanding or would know. And so what just finished was the Feast of Tabernacles. Remember that? The Feast of Tabernacles, where they would come and they'd basically camp out for 8 days, and they would remember what God did for them in the desert. They remember their people, the Israelites, that God provided for them as they left Egypt and they were on their way to Canaan, and God provided manna for them. So that's when we had the I am statement of I am the bread of life. And so also what they would do is there was a lot of symbolism with light because of the pillar of fire that would lead them. And so there was these things that they would do with light. And so they were familiar with light and they were familiar with bread. And so Jesus takes advantage of that and says, I am the bread of life and I am the one to sustain you. And then he says, I am the light of this world. I am the light of this world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, right? Because they understood that as they were walking through the desert at night, if they didn't have this pillar of fire to guide them, they would be lost. They would just be wandering around in the desert, right? And so they understood the importance of light. So what Jesus is saying is, think about what light does, right? Light brings clarity. You can see things that you couldn't see in the darkness. Light brings direction. You can see where you're going, right? I've done these hikes at night, and I always worry that I'm going to fall or stumble on rocks. And then you pull out your little flashlight and you can see the step ahead of you, right? It brings direction. You know where you're going. And it brings safety so you don't fall off the cliff. And so these are the things, just some of the small things that Jesus provides for us. He brings clarity to our life. He gives us direction and security. And he reveals the darkness of sin in us as well. When Jesus shines his light on us, we can see, how far we are away from him because of the sin that we are entangled with. But because of his grace and mercy, he died for those things. And so we can receive his salvation and be free from that sin. So just kind of think about that today. How does Jesus' light shine on you? What are some things that he perhaps wants to reveal in your life? Contemplate on that today and ask him, Jesus, what would you like to reveal to me in my life that is either lacking or something direction that I need to go in. All right. We'll see you tomorrow, and remember, 5 minutes in the Word can change your life.